Hey guys, update. Yeah, I was fine with the quarantine until today's traumatic experience. So, every curly girl has a dream where her curls will fall and set perfectly each and every single day. Reality doesn't always permit that to be because there's multiple things that come into play. Whether we're talking about your conditioner, the shampoo, if you choose the shampoo, if you're doing co-wash, if you're doing, apple cider vinegar rinses, if you're doing clay with the hair, you're doing deep mask, mayonnaise, eggs, oils, anything you could possibly think of. But the most important part for me during my curly hair routine is blow drying. Today, my blow dryer broke out with me. And it's not like I can just run to the local beauty store to get one immediately within the same day, since my hair is technically still kind of wet. And yeah, I know my hair looks busted right now, but that's the effort of me trying to blow dry my hair with a heater, okay? My skin is hot. I'm unhappy. This is the only time that I've been unhappy during the quarantine, and I'm seriously not feeling it right now. I just need like one beauty store to open so I can get my blow dryer today. So besides that, I've actually been quite content with the quarantine. I've been having fun. I started actually selling wine with a business called One Hope Wine. I'm so proud of my shop. I'm going to put it right up here. So yes, that's my shop for One Hope Wine, and I actually signed up with them not only just for the sake of sales, but I get to actually sell wine that goes to charity, and I get to pick the charities, or if the people who purchase it, depending on and they go through one of my events, they can choose a charity that they want to give back to. Right now, I have 2 charities open for Much Love Animal Rescue, which is actually based out in Los Angeles, just to help dogs who need to be rescued, neglected, they were abused, whatever the case is. They go, they rescue them, they take care of them, and they find them homes. I get to be a part of all that. I'm actually really excited. I also have an event for those who have been raped, sexually abused, dealing with who had to be forced into incest. That is also one of the other events that I'm supporting. And then I also just recently put up one for autism as well, like for promoting like ABA therapy, which is actually really, really helpful for those who have autism. And that's one of the things that I really like about working with One Hope, because it's kind of exciting. And I'm like, oh, I get to have what I like and then support the charities that I love. For those of you who don't know this about me, I've actually sponsored quite a few kids over in like different countries and stuff like that, at least until I could afford it. I'm just, the Northeast region is really expensive. So I used to sponsor kids, but then I also switched over just recently. I went back to UNICEF. I don't even know what charity I signed up for. I can't remember. I don't think I'm sponsoring a kid though. I'm pretty sure it's for something else. But I do like sponsoring the kids just because I feel like I want to help. That's always been my main thing. That's one of the most important things about me for Bitten Apple TV. Bitten Apple TV, I'm sorry, my hair is still kind of wet under there. Curly hair problems. So we're just gonna do this right now because my neck is wet and this is not cool. And of course, my hoodie is soaked. Yeah, great. Anyways, lost my train of thought. Charities, being good. Bitten Apple TV. There we go. Got it. So one of the things I like to focus on with Bitten Apple TV is my way of giving back to the community. And don't get me wrong, I love mainstream. I love it just as much as everyone else. But there are plenty of innovative people who are coming out with these cool books and these cool ideas or cool products. And I feel like there's not enough of a spotlight on just them. And I feel like that's my way of giving back, because the truth is, the things that we know that are like really big and popular, they weren't popular before. So at some point, the trend is going to move over and it's going to be the next biggest thing. And I kind of just love being a part of that process, knowing that, hey, I knew that guy when he was really small and look how great he is. I knew that was an innovative idea. That was a cool concept. Whether you're dealing with, different comics like Off Girl, if you're looking at High Fructose Zombies, if you're looking at something that came out from Big Dog Inc., there's so much really out there. And there's really no reason why you should miss out. I mean, Zindan, great story that was created by doctors. oddly enough, they're actually doctors that worked at the hospital that I used to work at. So, fun fact. But yeah, I just love the idea of being able to give back, and I'm really excited about joining One Hope and being a part of the whole process. The people there are very loving. They're like very friendly. They're like, oh my God, hi. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm excited. We're here. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Virtually, because it's still a pandemic. But nonetheless, I'm actually pretty excited about joining the team. They have like a lot of places where I can sit down and like read, put all my stuff together so I can really truly learn about the product. Because don't get me wrong, I know about wine, but there's a difference between knowing wine and then like knowing wine. So I'm excited. So for those of you who are interested or like, hey, I want to give to these communities, I want to help out, I want to do this, and I want to get myself a great bottle of wine, you can feel free to click on the link in the descriptions. I'll have the 3 different events that I am working with, and then I'll just have also a separate link for my shop, just in case if you're like, those charities aren't me. Maybe you want to do your own, pick your own charity. That's cool. And you're also more than welcome to actually reach out as well. This way, I can even set up an event for you, and then we can work it through there. Just because, again, I like giving back. Those are my things. I think it's very important to give back to others because you can only accumulate but so much money. At some point, it just becomes meaningless. At least that's how I'm seeing it. Maybe it's because I'm not like, I'm not Jeff Bezos. I'm not, Elon Musk. I'm not up there. So maybe that's why I'm like, yeah, I don't see why I would need that much more money. I mean, having a nice home, those things are wonderful. Don't laugh at me. I'm gonna get back under the heater. It's just my skin was hot and I just was getting tired of the heater. Anyways, so maybe it's just, how I perceive things, but I think at some point you can only accumulate but so much money until the point that you just start throwing money away and you don't know what to do with it. And there's so many ways to give back to the community. And often, I feel like it's often, not that there aren't big corporations who don't give back to the community. Like, there's Uniqlo, there's Starbucks. They do give a lot back to their company. And I just kind of feel like when you're poor or when you're so used to having without, there's a certain mindset that you have where you're like, I want to give this to you because I know what it's like not to have. And it seems to be like a common thing in that regards. And that's why I'm really excited about them for One Hope. That's the only new thing that's really going on with me in regards for that. But outside of that, I've been quite content with the quarantine, except for my blow dryer catching on fire. I'm a little appalled as some people are with the news where they're like, it's a hoax, I don't want to have to wear a mask. And I'm like, I have asthma. I'd appreciate if you did. Just saying. But yeah, so, and I get it. People are upset. They feel like their rights are being infringed upon, but it's really crazy because I feel like if I was pregnant and I wanted to get an abortion, they'd be like, you can't do what you want with your body. How could you? But I guess, I don't know where I get these crazy ideas from. But anyways, but yeah, that's the only thing that's new. What's new with you guys? I'm serious. Like, put it in like the link, not in the link. What am I talking about? I forgot English. You see what happens when I stay indoors away from people for too long, which is actually one of my most like biggest pleasurable times. But anyways, leave in the comment section. What are you doing during the quarantine? Like, how are you passing the time? I'm still like reading, studying books, learning new things, just because that's what I like to do. And that's really hard to do often. Like, read books in public is a serious thing because people can't help themselves when you're reading books and they always want to come up to you with questions. What's your book about? Do you like the book? Who's that in the book? Would you recommend me to read that book? What page are you on? How many pages are there in this book? It looks like a big book. Like, how many pages is that? So when I say people get annoying when you're trying to read a book, people get really nosy, especially even if you're on the first page. And I find it really annoying. And it's always from people who don't read books, because people who read books have this natural instinct of being able to respect people in their personal space. And they're like, oh, they're reading. I'll wait till they're done. And then I shall proceed and ask them, what kind of book is it? And book lovers tend to ask like other types of books. They want to know about the lead protagonist, the antagonist, what's going on, what kind of genre is going on. Like, is it sci-fi fantasy? And if you have to compare what kind of book is it, if you're going to go with fantasy, is it like a Dresden book? Like, what are we dealing with? It's like Harry Potter. Like, what style are we talking about? Do you like R.A. Salvatore? Like, who do you like? And would you compare it to Edgar Allan Poe? Like, who are you comparing this book to? And if it's a crime documentary, like, you want to know, like, what crime is it based? There's so many questions that come from a book reader opposed to someone who's just like, yeah, I read. And then there's also the other people who like hate reading and they make it pretty evident. Because when you're talking to them, you're like, you want me to recommend a book for you? What was the last book you read? Clifford. I'm like, wow. Okay. Yeah. I got nothing. And it's weird. So I kind of like am enjoying this like time. And I'm like, the books are mine. All I need is a library. Like if all the libraries could be open right about now, that would be great. I mean, just like, you know, I'll be there with my mask and my gloves. I'm quite content. And then, you know, people will stay away from me because book readers are probably the people who will be respectful of that space. Like, 6 feet, let's do 10 feet. Read over here. But yeah, so that's what's been going on so far. I have been working on my staff again just because I want to perfect it. I finally got the staff that I need to use to practice because I don't want to break my bamboo staff because that bamboo bow staff was expensive. And there's nothing like, you know, like in the middle of a jump and you're like, ah! And then you break it and then you're like, probably should have done that. And not cool. Let's see. Oh, I got to be a part of some, so a stunt woman actually reached out to me. I was excited. And she's like, do you want to be a part of my montage video? And I was like, what? Of course. Her name is Jasmine Lusher. She's super awesome. She's like been on the sets of like Dumbo. And she's like, yeah, you can totally join us for the fights. And I was like, I can join the fights with the stunt women? Because I've been stalking them all online, you know, lovingly. Course. Yeah, because I guess because I have a love for entertainment and stuff like that, that's where I want to pursue. I don't stalk my exes online. I stalk casting directors and stunt actors. I'm like, hey, what do I gotta do to get myself thrown out of a window? Like, yeah, I've never actually stalked an ex online. That sounds weird. Yeah, no, I've never done that. Yeah, no, I was pretty glad to cut ties. Yeah, I'm cold-hearted like that. So I just run with this, whoop! But it also applies to people who are friends too. It's not to be mean, it's just if you're toxic, whoop, you gotta go. But yeah, so I got really excited to be in the little thing. So you might see me in one of those. I'm doing my snake forms. I'm just, wow. And then I go in and then I do a tornado kick. Or some places call it a different kick, but whatever. The school that I learned it from is called a tornado kick. So yeah, that was a lot of fun to do, and I was so excited. I was psyched. But yeah, other than that, I actually did take a break from books. Speaking of my books, sorry, just trying to get it to dry. I'm sorry, I'm just really upset that that thing caught on fire. You don't understand what happened to me. I was like, get underneath, blow dry, I'm feeling good. I'm watching my Mains by Mel video because I'm thinking, I swear on my life, every time I watch her videos, I'm like, I'm gonna look just like her when I'm done. I don't, but I still try. So it's blow drying, and then I flip my hair back over here, and then I'm like, all right, so I'm gonna do this a little bit, and then out of nowhere, sparks, flames, poof. So for curly girls, that's a major problem. Why? Because we put things like gel, hairspray, anything that's flammable. So you can only imagine how quickly I dropped it, and now it no longer wants to blow out hot air and is barely functioning. And I just went, and then just dropped. And yeah, real pissed right about now. I'm sorry. I know I keep talking about it. It's because it's like therapy. I just need to get out of my system. But yeah, that really hurt my feelings. I need another blow dryer, and that's not even right. But yeah, everything's been pretty good. I've been really excited. Just happy in general. And I've been enjoying my quarantine. I know it sounds weird because some people are like, I'm bored out of my mind. But I guess I'm so used to, I was actually just talking to a friend of mine, and he had said to me, well, you like being alone. And I was just like, no, it's not that I like being alone. I like being left alone when I see problems. If I see that you are toxic, leave me alone. If I see that you are problematic, leave me alone. If you're going to be harassing me, leave me alone. If I feel like you're going to bring any kind of trauma or drama to my life, leave me alone. I've spent most of my life alone. I'm an only child. I was in a house by myself, playing, or, I was doing, sitting down studying when I got the chance to actually get friends by the time I was in middle school. Here's a quick fun story. There was a girl who realized I was so alone all the time that she literally walked up to me, shout out to Georgia, Georgia becoming my first friend, but there was another girl, and she actually walked up to me And she goes, "You don't have any friends." And I was like, "No." And up until that point, I was already used to like either being bullied or like having to deal with like other like weird little things. And she goes, "I'm going to be your friend because you don't have a friend. And then we'll just stop being friends when you find one." And I was just like, wow, nothing says loser like that, but all right. And she was actually very kind. She would always like make sure she's like, "Hi." And then finally I made friends with this girl named Georgia, who was another fellow dancer. And as soon as the girl, she's like, "You found one. I've done my duty." And I was like, wait, I don't understand why we can't still be friends. And she was like, "Okay, cool. Bye." And she was out. Like, it was weird. So I enjoy the quarantine, not because I like being alone, but I'm just so accustomed to it that I'm just like, yeah, this is like an everyday for me, except, you know, I don't have to like fend for money. Like, you know what I mean? Like, in that kind of sense, it's just like, huh, all right, this is interesting. This is basically my life on a daily basis. I guess maybe I'll do my next episode on like more story times. I guess I have some weird stories or some dark stories. Maybe I won't do the dark stories. My dark stories make people uncomfortable. Like, they want to give me a hug and I'm like, I'm allergic to that. No huggies. I'm fine. I'm good. But then they like cry for me, which is always interesting. But anyways, but thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you guys have enjoyed, and I will keep you guys posted for next week. Whoop, whoop! Did the lights go out right when I said that? That was so cool. Sorry, I'm giving myself credit that I shouldn't be, but you know, I totally timed that.